Hi, this is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. It's Friday, March the 18th, and I am doing a refilming of a Facebook Live that I did about 3-4 weeks ago. On the Facebook Live, my phone ran out of power and went into the low power mode, and so the voice was not didn't record the voice at the end of the video. So this is a remake, and I hope you will enjoy it. I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful tower card. It can be folded like this to ship it, so it's fairly flat, and it stands up very nicely to be displayed on a shelf or on a counter. And it's called a tower card. It's one of several different types of tower cards, but this one is made using the product from the ocean, Waves of the Ocean products collection that is going on, this being sold now through to the 2nd of May, and it's a gorgeous collection of products. So in this collection, we have this stamp set, Waves of Inspiration. It has a beautiful wave, and it has this. And the greetings say, "Our friendship is a thing of beauty. You're so totally awesome. Happy birthday. Your strength is an inspiration." And then it has a stamp that has some birds on it. So we're going to be using this stamp set, and not going to be using the dies for this project, but I did make a scrapbook page with the dies. The dies are really awesome. There are 2 dies for labels, a die to cut out the pelican on the pilings, 2 different wave dies. These are kind of delicate detail wave dies. So there's one with 3 drips on the wave, and there is one with 2. So, and it has a die to cut out birds. It has 2 cloud dies that have a little bit of embossing to them, and then they have 2 detail dies to put color along the bottom of the dies. So this is an awesome die set. Let me show you a scrapbook page I made using it. I like to store my dies like this. Whoops, I want to turn it around. I like to store my dies on a magnetic sheet that has been applied to the card stock that the dies originally come in, and then I put them store them in this in the plastic folder in a shoebox, so they are going back, and you can just flip through them to see what they are. Okay, so the scrapbook page is this one that uses pretty much all the details. I used the die to cut out the Pacific Point cardstock, and I adhered it down to Pool Party cardstock, and then I fussy cut around the edges. When you cut out these dies, these detail dies, you really need to put adhesive sheets on the back of your cardstock before you cut, because to put little tiny dots of liquid adhesive glue along there would be very time consuming, and at least if you're like me, it's messy. Here's the pelican and a couple of the birds. I used the a die from to cut out these letters from, I think it's I can't think of the name of it right now, and this is one of the designer series papers. So the designer series papers are only available as long as the product lasts and until the 2nd of May. The dies and the stamp set will be in the new 22-23 annual catalog, but these will retire at the end of May. So there's this design, and the back's a bright sunny yellow. There's this one with the back like this, and they were created by pouring paint onto a sheet and letting it run and bubble. There's this one and that. This really looks like waves on an ocean. There's this one, and that's the back side or the front side. This is one side of this one, and that is the side. You can just see the foam on the waves. And then there is this one with that coloration on the other side. So glorious, beautiful designer series papers. And also foil sheets. There's silver, there's Night of Navy, and okay, where did the third one go? There is a Bermuda Bay one, and that is this color. They make a gorgeous combination together. We are using the Bermuda Bay for this card. This is available only until the 2nd of May as well. And then lastly, as part of the bundle, or as part of the collection, are these gorgeous rhinestone waves basic jewels with Night of Navy and Pacific Point and Balmy Blue, Coastal Cabana, and one other color. So the whole collection is gorgeous. You can order it all in under one order number, or you can get the individual pieces. The rhinestone things will also be gone, retire at the end of on May 2nd. I bought a couple of packages because I love them, and they'll be wonderful because I use a lot of blues and greens. So this is the bundle, or the collection. So let's get started on this card. We're going to start with a base of Night of Navy. And it is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. And we're going to do some scoring. You score on both ends. You're going to score at 3 inch. Could start at 1 and go the other direction at 2 inches. And at 1 inch. And then just turn it around and do the same thing. This time I'll start with the 1 inch, so as to not confuse you. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we're going to cut, we're going to make slits from the 1 inch to the 3 inch score lines at 1 inch. So I'm going to put this here at 1 inch, and I'm going to put my cutting blade as close as I can to the 1 inch score, and I'm going to run it up to the 3 inch score. That looks pretty good. If it goes over, it doesn't matter too much because we're going to be covering up. So this one is going to go from the 3 inch. Kind of use my feel up to the 1 inch. See how I did. went over a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to score it again at 2 inches. And I'm going to move this over so that the score line, the cut line, is at 1 inch. Make sure it's as straight as possible. And I'm going to do the same. Wow, it slipped. Try to get it as straight as possible. I'm going to go from the 1 inch down here up to the 3 inch. And then over here from this score line down to the 1 inch. Didn't quite get it far enough here. So you have 2 slits here and here. We'll do the same thing on the other side of the long side. So we go from the 1 inch up to the 3 inch. And from whatever number this would be if we hadn't turned it around, up to the 1 inch here. Okay, and then move it over so that those are on the 1 inch line. My doorbells. They hear things or smell things, and I have no clue what they're barking at. But guaranteed nobody's going to sneak in the house without us knowing it. Okay, so now we're done with the cutting and scoring. We have 1 inch and a 2 inch and a 1 inch and a 2 inch. Now we're going to do some folding. This one is a valley fold. Where is my bone folder? Here it is. And it helps to make good creases like that. Now this one, next one is a mountain fold. So you have like that. So we have valley fold, and a mountain fold. And don't fold this score line yet. What we're going to do is this one doesn't fold, but this one folds in like that. See how it goes in? Don't fold here, but fold this one. So it ends up looking like that. Okay, so we leave the first one, we fold the second one in, and we the fourth one in. Like that. And there is our basic tower card. So now we get to decorate it. And we have a bunch of pieces. I put the measurements up on my blog. So we have 2 pieces of the foil that are 2 5/8 by, no, 5 5/8. What? I can't read. 5 3/8 by 2 1/8. And then we have 2 pieces of cardstock, white cardstock, 5 1/4 by 2, and they will layer on top like this. One goes on the back in here, and one's going to go on the front. But I'm not going to layer them until I've done my stamping, so I'm going to set those aside for now. Then we have 4 strips. The foil is 5 3/8 by 7/8, and the designer series paper is 5 1/4 by 3/4. And I've already gone ahead and layered those because sitting there watching me put adhesive on the back of them is not that much fun. So they go here, here, and on the backs. So I'll go ahead and put those on. You could use multi-purpose liquid glue if you wanted to, but I'm just going to put Stamp and Seal because it's fast. This layer's right there. Come on. Well, for Pete's sake. There it goes. Now I'll put them on the back. Like that. Okay, so now these pieces apply. This one goes here, and these 2 go like this. So we'll put those on next. See if I can peel that off. It's not quite straight. With the Stamp and Seal, if you're careful, you can pull it up before it gets down real tight. There, that's better. Okay, so we got that part done. Now we're going to stamp on one of these. And the reason for not putting it down right now is because if I don't like the way it's stamped, I can stamp it on the other side. Or if I were to use my Stamparatus, I could stamp it. And then if I didn't like it, I could stamp it a second time and add more ink because it hasn't moved. There's the pelican. And then I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday on a scrap of basic white that is with Night of Navy ink. A little bit of a ghost there, but that's okay because I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so I've got a 1 1/4 inch square of the Bermuda Bay foil, and this, of course, wouldn't fit on it. It barely would fit on the white. See, it would barely fit on there. So what I'm going to do is snip, cut them out. Freehand, which is a little iffy. Sometimes it gets kind of crooked, but that proves that it's handmade, not mass produced. And then cut them in. Oh, you know what? This has an adhesive strip on it. Left over from a project. Awesome. Because I was going to have to use multi-purpose liquid glue, but I won't. I love the adhesive adhesive sheets, because you can just apply it to the back of your cardstock and then go ahead and cut out your die. So I'm going to put that like right here and put the happy above it. See how easy it is when you have adhesive sheets on the back? It comes in a package of 12 6 by 12 inch sheets, and they have 3 strips that are 2 inches wide by 12 inches on each of those sheets. So it's a really good deal, and it certainly saves time. I plan, if I ever take the time to do it, to put some on the back of the cardstock colors that I use on a regular basis. Let's see if I can straighten this out a little. Well, not perfect, but close enough. Okay, so this is going to go up here like that. And we can go ahead now and put this on to its mat. There. And now this goes onto the card front. Come on, be cooperative. I don't know why it is that the glue gets everywhere but where I want it. Then when I try to get it started with my finger, it comes off on my finger. There, instead of on the cardstock. It's supposed to be new and improved. And maybe for some it works well. And this lines up just right like that. on the card front. A little bit crooked. Don't know if I can lift it or not to straighten it. There. Okay, the other one is on the back for you to write your greeting on. Happy birthday. I sent one of these to my son. So you can write whatever you like on the back. You could put some other kind of a greeting on the front, like a thinking of you. This is a perfect card to send to a man, but it's also so beautiful that a woman would thoroughly enjoy it. No, come on. One of the things when you use narrow borders like this is you have to be very accurate with your cutting so that they fit. This one is a little bit over, not quite straight. Can't help that now. Put that in the back, make sure it's right side up. Okay, I'm going to pop this up with Stampin' Dimensionals so it sticks up a little bit of height to it. And then to finish off the peachy theme, in the Wide Horizon suite, there are these wonderful pebbles enamel shapes. And I'm going to put a few down here at the bottom, at the base of the pilings, just for a little bit of added interest. They are adhesive, self-adhesive. So you just pick them up off the thing, turn them around a little bit, and I'll use one of these shapes. They come in both brown and a couple of shades of gray. And there we have it. A happy birthday tower card. Like I say, it folds down flat, so you can put it in an envelope. I would recommend taking a piece of cardstock or something putting over the top of it, because with these bumps here, the post office is likely to charge you extra for hand stamping it. But if you have it smooth, it will go through the stamping machines without any problem. So thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. If you have any questions, my email is sue@soggystamper.com. My blog is www.soggystamper.com, and I'll put the measurements for these, for the cutting directions on there. And I think I'll also put a diagram of the scoring and cutting. I got this from a combination of a video I watched by Debbie Henderson and Mary Detheridge. Thank you, ladies, for your good directions and how to make this. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and come back for more on my YouTube channel. See you later. Bye-bye.